the unemployment rate for the last month has remained at 4.1%. That's just dropped on the Bureau of Statistics website. So that's actually lower than the expected 4.2%. So it'll be interesting to sort of dig deeper into those numbers and see what's going on. And of course, the RBA will be watching these numbers very closely along with inflation data, which is out next month or at the end of this month rather, to make its decision next month on interest rates. But for more on this, let's now speak to Economist and Angela Jackson. Angela, was this in line with your expectations?
Look, they are once again incredibly strong numbers. We have a 64,000 increase in jobs this month. That takes it to over 430,000 jobs over the last 12 months. This remains a very strong labour market, and I think ahead really of expectations. We've been expecting month on month to really see that slowness that we're seeing across the economy flow through to these unemployment and labour force figures, and it simply isn't happening. There is clearly still a lot of demand for labour out there that isn't being met, and month after month we see employment continue to grow, which is good news, but I think there is a question of how long can it last, particularly given that underlying weakness in the broader economy.
Indeed, and the Reserve Bank has said the labour market needs to loosen a bit before the economy's back in balance and inflation's under control. So how will these jobs figures this morning factor into the RBA's decision on rates next month?
Yeah, look, there are certainly, there's no doubt there are people within the Reserve Bank who feel that until unemployment gets up to around the 4.5% mark, they can't even think about cutting rates. Now, I'm not sure that is true necessarily. The labour market is changing. We have an ageing population, and we have a lot of demand out there for labour, clearly. These figures demonstrate that once again, and whether or not Australia can indeed have that lower unemployment rate, see inflation return, and then start easing those rates to sort of relieve some of that pressure that is currently out there in the broader economy. We're going to have to wait and see, I think. It's going to really depend on the figures that come out. We released figures earlier this week for MYOB that showed the small business sector in particular is really struggling at the moment. That is likely to flow through at some point in terms of these employment figures. So the Reserve Bank still has a very difficult job here. It's got these low inflation figures coming through. It's got all the indicators that the economy is really struggling. And yet we see these labour market figures once again outperform expectations.
Now, these figures only dropped a few seconds ago, so I'm not sure how much you've been able to read into it, Angela Jackson. But what else is in them in terms of the participation rate and number of jobs created that might paint a broader picture for us?
Yeah, so look, often when we see there isn't this move in the unemployment rate itself, it's because there's a drop in the participation rate. We haven't seen that. We've seen an increase in the participation rate. More good news. It means more people are getting out there and getting a job and re-entering the labour market. And what we are seeing really is these figures are underpinned by very strong, so 64,000 increase in employment this month in seasonally adjusted terms. That is well ahead of the long-term average. And it means that since January, by way of comparison to these figures in September, we've had 360,000 jobs created across the economy. In the year before the pandemic, which we kind of say is normal times, we had half that many. And so you can really see the strength, the continuing strength, even relative to the pre-pandemic economy of the labour market. And what that means, of course, is it's great news. It's great news particularly for women who've really benefited in this post-pandemic period with these new opportunities to work, more of them working full-time, but more and more people are getting that opportunity to work. So they're good numbers today. It does make the Reserve Bank's job, though, a lot harder.
And gazing into the crystal ball, I suppose, where are economists forecasting the unemployment rate to go to from here in the coming months?
Yeah, look, we definitely expect it to start drifting upwards. So we would expect to start seeing a real slowdown in this employment growth and it to start heading towards that 4.5% range. But that said, what we may well see is that that doesn't occur. We may well see that, in fact, that there is this underlying, and we can still see that in the data, the vacancy rates, while they've come off their peaks, that post-pandemic peak in terms of job vacancies across the economy, they still remain about 50% higher than in the pre-pandemic period. So all indications are that the labour market, despite the slow economic growth we've experienced over the last 12 months, despite the cost of living pressures, that the labour market remains very, very strong.
Well, thank you very much for that speedy analysis off the back of that data this morning, Angela Jackson.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.